Famiglia, it's been a while since I did a juicy glute workout that absolutely destroys your peach, but in a good way, because it'll just literally become a G-Wagon, a sort of dump truck, whatever you want to call it. Now, just to give you a bit of a background, I do 3 leg days in a week, and the first one that I'm gonna choose, this is the leg day number 1, where it's basically I lift the heaviest amount of weight. Yes, absolutely, machine transformer sort of. But of course, every program is going to be different. Every workout is going to be different to every single individual, okay? So always take it as an example, okay? But copying exactly the weights and every single exercise and everything is not appropriate, because everyone has got different levels of experience, etc. But it's also good to have something as an example, okay? So make sure you watch the workout, because I will be giving every single tips, even for execution for how to perform every exercise right and to engage the punta at the best, basically. So actually, I'm so excited for this workout, because it's been ages since I actually came to the gym with you and I did one of my full exercise, full workouts, etc. So we're gonna be going down now in a minute, and I'll show you exactly everything I do in order to target the bunda. That being said, let's go. Okay, so let's start with exercise numero 1. So like I said, I introduced to you that this is going to be my heaviest session of the week, meaning that I push for the heaviest exercise. I do more compound exercises, but I'm not gonna do the same exercises, or they're gonna be similar but different for the next 2 sessions that I do for the week, okay? That doesn't mean I change exercise every single time I train. That's completely different. It's just that I rotate between the exercises and the variations, okay? Because I can't be doing 3 leg sessions, okay, with the same heavy weight, because you physically won't be able to do it. So every set as well will be different. I'm gonna be starting with hip thrust, obviously the magic exercise, one of my favorites for my glutes. And I start particularly with this session with hip thrust and my heaviest lifts that I will be doing, okay? Because if you start first with other things like accessory exercises, the moment you do movements like this, it will just literally be impossible, because you already finish all your strength. Okay, so how do we do it? With the first set, I will work more on a heavy weight. So I'll pick the heaviest weight that I can do. For now, I'm gonna do 200 kilos, just because I have a bit of it's, after Christmas, if it makes sense. So I don't have the same strength that I used to have before. So I think I'm gonna start with 200. Let's see how many reps I'm gonna do. But the next set is gonna be completely different. My secret to lifting heavy, first of all, Famiglia, is actually chasing the right music, because I don't even know how people train heavy without music, okay? So for today, we shall go with, I think I might go with Eminem. He's the only one that can push me through. No, not really. I have a couple of more that can really push me, but let's go with Till I Collapse. Channeling my inner beast, see how many good reps I can do of this weight, because it's been a while, so I don't know whether my body will be able to lift it. Let's see. I really focus on the lyrics. Okay, 5 reps, not bad. Now, key moment of this part is you're gonna be resting with the barbell. I don't want you to push it away, but you're gonna keep it here. Rest, honestly, I'll rest it on your lap, because what it will do, the pressure and the heavy weight of the barbell on top of you, okay, you will keep pushing, and it's like almost like active resting, because yes, you're resting, but you still have the weight pressurizing and pushing you down. This is one of the new techniques that I'm actually using. And in order for you to feel this, I normally use mat, because what they do, the distance is much shorter, so I can feel the pressure even more, if it makes sense. I play as well with your foot positioning. Normally as well, very important, normally the first set, you don't really feel it, okay, because you're still warming up, and especially if you've just done 5 reps like me, you won't really tend to feel this, but I'll still rest with this on top, okay? Okay, you do your resting. And now for this next set, what I do, I like to work my way down. So I'll start decreasing the weight. So from 200 kilo, I'm gonna go to 180 kilos instead, because I'm getting rid of 10. Okay, we're down to 180, and we'll do the next set. Remember, when you're doing heavy weights, you want to rest a little bit longer. I rest about 2 minutes. Time to do it. Next set. For this, I want to aim at least for 8 reps minimum, okay? But if you can push yourself even more, that's what I want you to do. With my clients as well, I always say, I want you to push yourself. So even if I say, for example, 8 reps, but you can do an extra rep, you can do 9 reps or 10 reps, that is amazing. I want you to push yourself. If you know that that day you've got 1 extra rep more, push for that extra rep more. And if you want me to be your coach, link down below for one-to-one online coaching, Famiglia. did 9. Not bad. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep the weight for the next set and repeat it. And then for the last set, what I'll do, I'll take 1 extra plate off and I will do 10 minimum reps. But I mean, if I can do 12, I'll push for 12. Remember to rest with the barbell on top of you, your feet a little bit more further, so you really feel it on your glutes. Okay, familia, the next exercise is a crucial one. It's completely opposite to what we just done before with the hip thrust, because the hip thrust will focus on your glutes squeezing at the top, which is basically when your glutes squeeze, that is the peak of the movement. Whereas what we're gonna do now is completely opposite, because the peak of the movement will be when the glutes stretch instead of when they squeeze, okay? But basically I already mentioned that before, it's gonna be squats, that's our second exercise. But before we get into squats, there is something important that we need to do. We need to prep our joints, okay? And this is something that, especially if you start going a little bit heavier, okay, it's important that you start implementing it more. Specifically for me, because my hips at one point, because I never used to stretch, okay, this is called dynamic stretching, what I'm doing now, and I started developing a sort of hip impingement, okay, so I couldn't even squat, and my hips was paying me so much when I was squatting. So instead, including things like this, for example, mobility drills and things that will focus on your joints as well before your squats will do wonders as well for your depth, for joint pains or anything. So I normally do this for like 5 to 10 minutes, nothing more than this, just to prep literally my joints. Because why does this happen for me? Because we spend so much time sitting down. I do like a sedentary job, obviously, with one-to-one online coaching. I sit the majority of my day, right? Then if you sit the majority of the day and all of a sudden you start doing heavy weights, obviously your body will not be used to it. So it's important to always prep your joints beforehand. Okay, so we'll do this for my hips, but also your joints are also important, also your ankles. So we'll get into a squat position, okay, with a little weight like this. I'm getting this at 5 kg, and I'll rotate my torso from one side to the other. This is a great mobility stretch for your ankles that I let my one-to-one online coaching clients do as well, because it's really good. And you always need to make sure that the foot is always planted, both of the feet are always planted on the floor, and they don't lift up like this. You will notice with this exercise one thing that is really important, and that is that whilst with hip thrust I will start in really heavy first and then slowly descending with the weight. With my squats instead, I'm gonna use a completely opposite method. I'm gonna start light and build the weight up. There is different reasons for this, but first of all for me is because obviously the squat is much more complex in terms of an exercise than the hip thrust. With hip thrust you'll notice a lot of more people can go heavier, because first of all it's much safer. So let's say if you can't lift the weight up, you can just basically go on the ground and just basically sit on the floor. Like, the difference is not literally major. Whereas with this, and that's why a lot of people get scared to squat heavy, you know why? Because obviously if you get stuck with squats and you don't have anyone, for example, spotting you, it's a little bit more complicated. Although this is why we have the safety bars over here. I always recommend adjusting this before doing any sort of squat as well. So anyway, that being said, I'm gonna start with 10 just to warm up a bit. So I like to take a wider stance as well. Knees basically rotated outwards, okay? Remember to brace. Okay, so this was nice and easy, okay? Now we're gonna add more weight, add 10 on each side, okay? That will make it 60. Now we're gonna go on with another probably 10 reps, I would say, because this is still quite light for me. But because I wanna actually start going a little bit heavier, I could do 10 of this weight, but what I'm gonna do, I don't wanna get rid of all my energy so that I don't have any more strength. So I know that I could do 10 of this, but this time, because I wanna go heavier, okay, so I need to preserve some of my strength for later. I wanna do less reps. So for this, I'm gonna do about probably 6, because it's a lightweight. I already know I can do it, okay? But I wanna save my energy and warm up properly for the next heavier weights. Perfect. I actually managed to do 7, but what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna start packing the weight that I want. So I'm gonna put another 10 on each side. Okay, actually very dramatic moment because I forgot that my bloody gym belt. One thing I had to bring, well actually I brought so many things. That means I have to be a little bit more careful with my bracing and I won't have as much support. For your record as well, I only use the belt when I start going really heavy. So for example now, because this is an 80, but yeah, it's an 80. So at this point I will start to normally use a belt, but I don't have one. So I'm gonna see what I can do, to be honest. Bracing is the most important thing, remember. For mediocre ones without a belt, I'll take it. I don't know whether to push it. I mean, I wanted to try 90, which obviously I don't have a belt, but I think I can manage. So I'm gonna add a 5 on each side. This is what I mean, push yourself, but obviously within limits. Since I'm going heavier, I don't have a belt. Like I said, these are lifesaver, guys. They will save you if you fail, okay? So always make sure you use these. I'm putting this higher up, so in case I fail, they'll catch the bar for me. This is what happens when you don't have anyone to train with. Okay, so I'm about to try this without a belt. Probably the range of motion will be absolutely crap because also these are quite high, to be fair, I position them. But the thing is, I don't have a belt, I don't have anyone spotting me. So that's gonna have to go. Let's see how many reps I can actually do on 90. Remember, bracing will save you. Range of motion, it was shocking, but we tried, okay. Also another thing that you have to specify about squats and range of motion with squats that a lot of people don't understand. Gym bros will tell you that in order to actually target your glutes, you have to get into a super deep range of motion with your squat. So that ass to grass kind of squat, but actually it's not true. Science actually shows as well, and it's proven that even if you get into a normal squat, talking even a slightly above 90-degree angle, okay, you can still target your glutes and make gains, okay? So anyway, that being said, now I think for the last set, I'm going to strip down the weight to 60 kg and do 10 just to finish off, and then I'll move on to the next exercise for the binda. Are you ready for this absolutely game changer of an exercise that I'm gonna let you do? So I actually used to do RDLs first, but RDLs, like we know, they also target your lower back, and I like to rotate my cycle of my workouts every 6 to 8 weeks. So I recently, probably for the past few weeks, I replaced RDLs with single leg press, and let me tell you, oh my god, like, perfecto, they are amazing. What I do as well, for my little shorties out there, I recommend using a plate. Okay, this will elevate you and will decrease, basically, this will elevate you and improve the range of movement as well. So, with this, first of all, you want to go much lighter on this in terms of weight because you're only obviously using one leg at a time. So it'll be a little bit more challenging at first. And what I want you to do is make sure that obviously you position the foot higher on the platform and you come as close as you can to have a deeper stretch on your glutes, okay? So you also hold the handles and you sink. It's like you push yourself like sinking into the seat almost like, okay? That will help you as well feel the exercise much more. Okay, so I will basically repeat this 4 times and then I'll move on to the next exercise. So I'm gonna do a tricep right now, which means 3 things with no rest in between. I have a band, a resistance band, because we'll basically use it for the last part of the tricep. We'll use a heavy weight, a lighter weight, and then straight away the next thing. So we'll do 10, 10, and then 30. So 10 with a heavy weight. well with this one. Perfect. Now 30 of the manded monster walk, which is what we have basically. Ooh. Really bends. It hurts to even speak. Okay. You want to really use a heavy band and push against the resistance, okay? Really big steps to the side. 30. And again, repeat 4 times. Familia, familia, familia. And I started to like this exercise more than hip thrust, but however, we need to do it at the end because, like I said, today is my heavy day. So if I start with this, all the energy will be basically disappeared at the end of the workout when I start doing hip thrusts and squats. Imagine doing this, and then I don't have actually energy for squats and hip thrusts and things like that. So it's actually essential that I do this at the end for this day. The trick to feel the 45-degree cable extensions for your side glutes, okay? Because we need to target our bunda from every single angle. So what we need to do, I like to put it on the force hold from the bottom, okay? And then strap up just slightly above, okay? Just probably like around, not probably mid-leg, but just over here, like you can see. And then I like to tilt the foot and kick diagonally. We're not kicking backwards, okay? It's diagonal on the kick. That's important that you understand. So again, we'll be tilting our foot and kick to the side, squeezing our bunda over here, and then slowly controlling the weight and repeating the exercise. Now I like to hold onto the machine for extra support, so I can really make sure that the glutes are doing all the work as well with my, and I'm not swinging as well with my body. So I'll do 10 reps on each side and I'll do 4 sets of this. Other side, exactly the same. Okay, so we'll tilt and kick diagonally. And with this exercise, you'll show that obviously I'm not using a lot of weight. So we can do more reps and we can work on doing more volume overall, okay? I'll increase the weight slightly for every single set just to increase the intensity, but I'll still work around the 10 rep range, so I'm not gonna go super heavy. Anyway, familia, if you want me to actually plan a workout plan that is perfect for you as an individual on what you feel, we'll test every single exercise, we'll see what feels right for you. I actually suggest and encourage you to inquire for one-to-one online coaching because I will tailor the plan based on you, and not only that, you'll also get help with the meal side of things. Nutrition is super important. Now, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see my other workout days as well in the comments. Like I said, this is only day 1 of my leg days, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time with another video. Ciao familia.